people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma here, and it is the weekend. So it's a movie review. So it's only one this week, and this is the Christmas movie Red One. So this is kind of the first Christmas movie that's come out of 2024, 6-7 weeks earlier than Christmas. But so I want to say it does start The Rock as Callum Drift, Chris Evans as Jack O'Malley, Lucy Liu as Zoe, J.K. Simmons as Nick or Red One, Bonnie Hunt as Mrs. Claus, Wesley Kimmel as Dylan, and Kieran Shipka, if I've run as Gaia. So essentially, if you've not seen the trailer, this is just over 2 hours, 2 hours and 3 minutes long. It is essentially the story of J.K. Simmons' Santa Claus. He obviously has his job, and the night before Christmas, or just over a day before Christmas time, he is kidnapped by a mysterious entity that they know, and it is his kind of bodyguard who's having second thoughts about Christmas to go find him, and he basically employs or basically kidnaps and then coerces Chris Evans' character Jack O'Malley into helping him out, and let's see if can they find Santa in time to basically save Christmas, as is what I think. So that's essentially, there is nothing as far as I'm aware after the credits or anything like that, so you can get up and go once it finishes. And I thought it was an alright movie. We will stick the spoiler warning up and we will get into it. So the movie starts as we have a very young Jack O'Malley. He is obviously very good at finding stuff, and this is kind of how the story starts. He's a little kid. He shows all his siblings and cousins where all the presents are kept in, and there's a kind of conversation of his dad explaining to him where Santa kind of comes from, and how the young Jack has questions that cannot be answered. Fast forward 30 years, you have the real life Santa Claus, J.K. Simmons, at a mall, basically pretending to be a fake real Santa, if you wish. And obviously this is where you see the Rock, Johnson, Callum, Drift basically being his protector, and obviously then it kind of clues on that they're working with the government, or Lucy Liu, she's a government official. She works for them to basically help him get back to the North Pole after this visit, because he does this every few days before Christmas. It's not really explained specifically why, but it just is that he does it. Obviously when he gets home, there's Red One talking to, or Santa Claus talking to Callum, and obviously asking why he's handed his resignation. This is his last Christmas, and he says, like, he struggles with the adults. The adults are the things that really are kind of making a world a not better place and not believing in it. And leading up to it, you do get to see kind of signs of that when he's going to the mall and stuff like this, and going through the mall, and how adults are reacting. During the process of this, when they come back to it, you get to see Jack O'Malley. He is obviously kind of a mercenary, so to speak, and has been employed to find this beacon. He finds obviously where Santa Claus is, but doesn't know it's Santa Claus, and gives it up to a buyer. And then obviously Santa is taken. The Rock tries to stop it, but unfortunately doesn't manage to do it. He works with Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu manages to find it's Jack O'Malley who kind of helped with it, and then they bring Jack O'Malley in. This is where Jack O'Malley, his reality is blown, as he experiences, you've seen in the trailer. Like, he meets a polar bear and obviously sees the Rock and everything else, and a lot of other mystical creatures, and sees that Lucy Liu deals with basically the human organisation who help with kind of paranormal or mystical creatures. This then sets the story of the Rock and Chris Evans, Callum and Jack are basically trying to find out what happened to Santa. It first leads them to Jack's buyer, the person who set this up, who's in a kind of Hawaiian town. I can't remember exactly where it is. During the process of this is where the snowmen come in, but just before that you learn that Gaia, so it's kind of a Christmas witch, she is responsible for it. And when you say a name, she kind of knows about it, and this is where we kind of have the reveal. I believe it's the actress who played Sabrina from the recent Sabrina series, not Melissa Joan Hart. And she's a shapeshifter, and she has 11 sons who are shapeshifters, but they're all a bit like massive mercenary type people. But anyway, they fight the snowman, manage to survive, and then it's realised in the next stage that Callum and I have to go to is to see Krampus, who is Nicholas's brother in this, so he's not a different Santa, he is brother, and there is a connection there. During all of this, they kind of come to a, you know, The Rock doesn't get on with Giacomani. Giacomani is quite a bad character, but then this is kind of the turning point for him, because obviously Gaia has stolen his son. Then they go on the rescue mission, find out where Santa Claus is. I'm going to kind of keep a lot of stuff out there. They find Santa Claus, they rescue him, there's a final battle, and then everything's all lovely-dovely, the end. What did I think of this movie? I'm going to rate this movie 5.4 out of 10. It's, I say, as a standard movie, it's okay. There are a few funny bits thrown in there that worked quite well. It's very much a family kind of friendly movie. The young kids seem to really enjoy some of the bits in it. And that's about it. It does seem to lack a bit of lackluster. There are quite a few main characters you have here that is switching through. To be honest, I don't think The Rock really needed to be in this. I think he, you know, I think 20% of the budget of this movie, the 250, went to The Rock. And I have heard the stuff on set. I'm not making my opinion around that. I'm making my opinion around the fact that his character didn't really need to be there. In all fairness, it should have been, in my eyes, they could have tailored this story that Jack grew up and he grew up not to be a nice person. He could have done exactly what he did, got caused Santa to get kidnapped, and then what it is the elves, the mystical creatures with Lucy Liu could have seeked him out to have help, and this is when he realises he was the full reason why Nick got kidnapped, and through some fun characters, not the big bulky Rock action movie, he could have had some more fantastical, you know, maybe a younger polar bear or something, and a few like these have kind of help him along the way, rather than it's more like The Rock's going to help you, but The Rock takes front and centre and all this stuff, and you don't get much development of Jack, because Jack's character is like he doesn't really care about his family, doesn't really care about his friends, blah 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 blah. You get to this Krampus scene, not much has changed, and then magically he's like, oh, I'm a good person now, and all this is all good, but he's got all this debt and all this stuff over him, which he kind of mentions and stuff, and that's not rectified by the end of the movie either. Whereas it's better to have a natural progression, I think, of Chris Evans' character becoming a bit more kinder, and then at the end, them having some sort of, you know, Santa helping him out with his issues because he's been such a good guy and helped save Christmas would have been more magical type of Christmas. As I say, I think The Rock needed to be removed from this movie totally, and a few mystical characters put in there. I think that 50 million could have been spent a lot better in my eyes. I say, you have like Lucy Liu, you have these characters, but they don't get too much screen time. She has a bit of Marvel type fighting, and the only reason I say Marvel is because I've seen the clip of AJ's review, which is why that then stuck in my head. But as Christmas movies goes, it's nowhere near the greatest. It has a few good ideas. The big reindeers and how they fly around, and the sleigh and the transportation stuff was really, really good. I really liked the idea of them shrinking. I didn't think The Rock shrinking and that was anything amazing. I like the fact Nick did, and it may be kind of a bit of the Santa Claus movies. You get to see some of these stuff. It would have been good to have seen that at the beginning. And you know that there are magical devices that are used to shrink and stuff like this, where it's all like, no, The Rock only kind of has this, but Santa has this, but no one else seems to have it. Yeah, and I say, if you like the trailer, you know you like The Rock, you probably will like this movie. As I say, I thought it was okay. A lot of it was revealed in the trailer, and I think it could have been a better story in my eyes, as I say, taking The Rock out and having a few other ones, but it is what it is. That has been my movie review of Red One. What did you think? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. I've been Cypher Signal Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.